Fort Shafter, Oahu, 1971. Mike on the phone from IBM Poughkeepsie. Cho, Alice, and Patrick are present. In 1971, in Oahu, at Fort Shafter, with Mike on the phone from IBM Poughkeepsie, a beautiful Korean-American young woman named Cho, a beautiful young Chinese woman named Alice, and a handsome young army man named Patrick with red-brown hair, the project call. On Tuesday late afternoon, we headed over to my office at the DIA compound to await Mike's call. Everyone had gone home, so this was a good time. I told Cho and Alice, Mike is a mover, a dynamo in a staid corporation. He rose from nowhere in manufacturing to take over machine development with only a high school degree. You won't be able to hear what he says, but you'll hear me and be able to infer a lot. The phone rang exactly at 6. Army Intelligence. Hello, Mike.
We have a multi-million-dollar business opportunity, but I have big problems in carrying it out due to a large disaster. Plus, I don't know if we could even do it anyway. I'm going crazy, to put it mildly. The marketing guys are up my butt, and so is our CEO.
Okay, start at the beginning.
Ralph Boneson over at EDS dropped a cigarette, I guess, just before leaving, and so his office caught on fire, and it spread somewhat, although the fire department got to it before their whole old rickety building could go up in flames. Well, very many of their card decks burned up, and so now they would be double or triple slow to be able to do anything for us, which squashes that idea, which I didn't like anyway in the first place. This was just a week or so ago. It gets even worse. When it rains, it really pours, Patrick. I can hardly bring myself to tell it. All the chances I've taken that worked, and now it's as if $1 billion just turned to ashes.
There was smoke damage to their computer room, ruining their disk drives and their machine database of our complete logic design, plus their output of it.
Yeah, sadly, and their backup disks too, although Fishkill has the output and we can still produce and sell the current machines, but businesses are clamoring for more speed already, the computer age now well begun, and we could sell a lot of double-fast machines at just 150% of the price we have to many of the larger businesses. IBM Germany's machine is smaller and much cheaper for startup businesses, so that doesn't help us.
Alice and I can remap the old machine to the new chips within 3 months from the error domain large logic segments that contain all that we need. Mike, are you there? What was that noise?
I stood up so fast that my chair fell over. You mean that you have everything about the logic design, like the wire lengths, circuit types, and all the internal logic between the latches and all the SRLs traced?
We have it all, Mike, and more. I saved it all for just the heck of it in case we needed it for something else. And we did, such as when we added the wire lengths together to make sure they were within the cycle time. Plus, the VT validation tests needed all the SRLs, so they're all traced back too, in addition to the error latches. These relations equal the design.
And the correspondence data sets?
Yeah, we needed those for the scan ring order and for whatever else they have, for whatever kind of use.
And where is this stuff?
Let's see, there's one in the 701 building.
Oh no, that building was just demolished.
And one in our 705 building and another in 702. When the stars shine, some go supernova, Mike.
The weather is greatly clearing. I was up a creek without a paddle, and now all we have to do is put Humpty Dumpty back together again with new clocks and whatever new pin arrangements there are on the new type of scan ring latches. Now, Alice is your protege, who you told me would make a fine worker?
Yes, she is among the best, and graduates in 3 months. She's just cruising along now, and so am I in the Army, without much to do but enjoy life, love, and the scenery, after my almost dying because the helicopters didn't hold up very well, with one even coming down. But we can't run this thing in a mountaintop tent where we live. There's no electric.
So do it on the Army RCA IBM-like computers?
No, I wouldn't want to risk colliding with their secure stuff, plus using up their time for the monstrous manipulations that we have to do to a trillion circuits. Cho and I and Alice are all taking courses at the University of Hawaii, and so we can use their IBM Computer Center. I'll make a smaller, generalized version of this program to be my graduate thesis. It won't give anything away. We won't plug in the actual numbers until we get the thing back to Poughkeepsie. We'll put programs in before class and look them over afterward. Cho is in biochemistry, not computer science, but I've taught her enough about the semantics and the syntax that she can key in the programs. Plus, she's a fast typist. Give me one more programmer person and we can probably have it done in under 3 months, maybe even in 2.
You drive an easy bargain. I'm going to have Laura fly out with one set of the information and stay the duration. She's been doing Rachna's job, but now Rachna is back, after having a baby, and so Rachna can do Laura's job. Laura's going to love this project.
Yes, she's perfect for the job. How is Laura?
She's grown up, but still drops love notes into your inbox. Is she going to be a problem? She's best.
I hope so, to the problem. And the more the merrier it seems, for Alice just moved in with us. Out of love, as well as due to low funds.
I should have those kinds of problems here. Now hold on, for this may sound strange in light of what I just said, but it was a blessing, really.
Now hold on, for this may sound strange in light of what I just said, but it was a blessing, really. You see, my greatly depressed wife committed suicide just a few months ago. She just really couldn't go on living, and I came to realize this very well. I have mixed emotions, of course, but what can I do but go on? My condolences. Now, if it's not too soon to say this, as great as Patty and I were, she got married for her mother's wishes, but is now very much trying to get divorced, finally realizing that wasn't the thing to do, plus I'm with someone else, even 2, as they are friends to each other. What it is then for you is that Patty likes you, as she told me in her last letter to me, I being her confidant only now. How's that sound? We all make mistakes like Patty did, and what you tell me is surely good news, but I really can't, since it might seem awkward later given your history with her. I just don't know, but maybe it's worse if she remains alone and unoccupied. I'll think on it, but I'm her boss, and that could show as favoritism. Are we not good friends, Mike? And am I not wonderfully and happily spoken for into the far future? Plus having a need for Patty to find someone good among a sea of, well, logical types, and you to have a lady who doesn't eat computer chips for breakfast and lunch? We are the best of friends, Patrick, both in life and in business. And the way you put would seem to provide a loving benefit for the many. She's due back soon. Write her that I like her too. Life has to go on, and this is a chance for it for me. Romance in the chain of command might be rough though, but who am I to be one who ever follows all the rules? Back to business. We'll need a 2-bedroom hotel room at the Waikiki Sheraton with a living area in which to be together, and lay out our listings and mark them up and discuss and such.
Another easy bargain. I'll get you the best suite on the top floor for 2 months and extend it if need be, along with an all-you-can-eat and drink plan. I'll put it in yours and Laura's names. I'll reserve it to begin in 2 days on Thursday, and Laura should be there on Friday. I'll call her tonight and we'll send a telex to the fort about her arrival time. This will flip her out!
Wow, it's going to be some party up there.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of pleasure palace.
Remember the great fragment of Coleridge that you studied in English literature that we reread?
Xanadu. That will be our code name for the project, especially since my overseers will think my proposal to be as a pipe dream, akin to gluing a gigantic and intricate broken vase back together, while changing the material basis at the same time and adding bits.
Well, yeah, and that might even be easier, but I see our project to be mostly busy work, albeit of the very careful kind, plus the fat logic segments with all the internals therein are gigantic items that require variable length spanned records. Plus we are probably mostly stuck here processing sequentially from tape instead of a random access disk, but I'm sure we'll find a way through the morass.
Resourceful is your middle name, Patrick.
We'll need 2 dedicated machines when the program gets back, one to run the whole thing, since we can probably only do it piecemeal on the university's Pipsqueak machine as one of our original 360S, and another machine to build the interface for Fishkill, and to do a compare on the 2 long test result streams. If any differences show up, we'll know it is in our new version, and just where they are too.
Ah, yeah, that's easy to provide. We rent these kinds of machines to ourselves at half the price. What's $50,000 for a good investment? I have some discretionary funds for these kinds of things, just waiting around for some emergency, of which this is the very first one.
Have Laura take one of my information sets and make 3 copies of it onto 3 brand new tapes, and bring 2, well wrapped in tin foil, and put the other back in some different bin in a different building. She knows where they are. Also have her bring our latest programming function library, 2 copies.
Hey, we're rolling along on this, and I'm willing to take the risk of you 4 doing this off-site.
Is not risk your middle name, Mike? And am I not trained to keep intelligence secrets safe?
That's true, and it's not like the higher-uppers ever come down to speak with the workers personally, except for a passing Merry Christmas. However, they may expect a presentation, of which I will do the first, as that is totally appropriate, and fly you in for one, if necessary, or you may well have finished by then. I'm going to have Rachna be the only other link to you, since she will have to interview the guys in Fishkill to get all the specs of the new circuit types, plus keep up with that as they near completion. Meanwhile, I will say if I have to that my team can't be bothered, and so you are in a secret location, which is actually true, though an ocean away. I can pay Laura and Alice, but not you, since you are on a military leave of absence, but I can give you double comp time and you can use it to visit Hawaii again. I can give something to Cho for her work and also for her continuing education. Tell Alice that I'm hiring her and sending her something in your mail to secure her employment by her signing it, if she wants to, which I already presume.
She does, of course. How speedy should we make this new machine?
Just make it double speed. I don't want anything to break that already has a close tolerance through you stretching it to the max. Besides, double has a nice ring to it, and we can even perhaps get it to be quicker later on if Fishkill makes more improvements over and above their cautious estimate. That's already fine.
We'll shoot for 2.25 in order to get 2.0 overall, because some of the doubling won't help the parts that accomplish things in 2 cycles instead of 1. Though now they could. But we don't want to futz with anything like that. We'll also keep to the same module layout, even though there might be room on some of the chips to combine 2 subsystems, because the whole module replacement error detection replacement strategy is based on separate modules.
What's some lost real estate compared to the profits? We can redo that for future systems, as long as we're making so many other changes. Maybe we'll even rebuild the rolling casters too. There will always be job security here, while we can sell everything that we can build.
Yeah, and it's safer than what the Army gave. I'll be back in 9 months, and Alice and Laura will be there in 3, with the goods. And we'll run them, if all goes well, and if the volcanoes don't erupt and sink us. We can't trust Pele the fire goddess not to smoke.
Yeah, what worse could happen? Hey, take 4 months if need be. We're facing 0 results on this end, being dead in the water without a paddle, and there is a long availability time for this new machine to sell and be out there on the market. It's just the midlife kicker that we needed, and your work will set the groundwork for more such pulling of things out of our asses in a much faster moving world. I'm glad that you're safe and in such good hands, and sorry that you had to go through the Cambodia thing. Enjoy living on the fertile tip of a volcano that rose from the great depths of the ocean.
We will, and hope that you and Patty will come to visit us someday. Call me in 2 weeks to the day.
Finally, something hard and scary, which would be to romance Patricia Hernandez, both on the outside as semi-secret at first, and also on the inside of work, right under everyone's eyes. So begins my life as like a spy, not even to mention your offshore undertakings. Need anything else?
I'll go see my Army commander since we're friends to see if anything's up, although I doubt it. Now that you mention it though, we could use an ocean liner, or at least a huge yacht.
Hotel expense accounts I can do, but buying or renting big boats might be pushing it. I can give you my tipsy canoe that has no paddle, for I'm tired of using it. Thanks for volunteering for this. At least the army taught you that. Or is it the other way around?
The other way. Farewell and raise a glass tonight.
Take care and take more vitamins to survive the ladies. Heck, I'm calling Patty tonight. I'll call you in 2 weeks at 6 when we'll both know more. Bye.